Hello, welcome to a divine appointment. This is Aaliyah. I was just watching something and it inspired me to share a situation I had about 6 years ago. I was with my son's father, my ex, and I had been going back and forth with my sobriety, so this was one of the times I went to like detox just to like get my head clear or whatever. So it was like a 3-day program. So we get to this place and I sign in, but I had made sure I drank enough alcohol that they would take me because they don't take you sometimes if you don't have enough alcohol in your system. hmm So, because you're there to detox. So I was sitting there and it had been like a long wait, and my ex was with me and we had a lot of issues. So I really was like, this is almost a break for me mentally from him. So, so I was like, he saw this orderly and they started having this conversation. And I was just kind of sitting over to the side, like, just waiting for them to call me. And then I guess he probably said something about, how long we had been sitting there. And so the next thing I know, like within like 15 minutes of their conversation, they take me to like this triage area. And I was like, well, since they taking me back, you could go ahead and go. He's like, I could sit with you until, they finish and ready to take you upstairs. I was like, no, it's cool because if they leave me too long, I'm just going to fall asleep. I'm just going to lay here because it's a bed back there, whatever. So I was like, I'm cool. So he left. So I was in the room. I had changed from my clothes into the gown or whatever and put my stuff in my bag. Then, like I said, when I first got there, I had a certain amount of alcohol in my system, but I had been sitting there so long that I was like, I wasn't at all like drunk or nothing. I was just, like if they had done a test, they could see it was present, but I wasn't even legally out of it or nothing. But, so like about 15, 20 minutes after I was in that room, the same orderly comes back. So the orderly was like, how you doing today? I was like, cool. And he acted like he was trying to help me get into the chair, which was fine. And he grabbed my bag and gave it to me, so I thought everything was fine. So um he's like, you cool? So I was like, yeah. So where he starts pushing me and we go get on the elevator. He backs me into the elevator. He's behind the wheelchair and I'm facing the doors to the elevator. So the elevator closes and he's like having this little general conversation. How you doing today? I'm like, I'm cool, I guess. I said, I could be better. I'm like, I'm just trying to get through the day, whatever. I was like, I just want to get to the room so I could relax. And he's like, oh, okay. And then all of a sudden he starts like rubbing my shoulders. I'm like, what are you doing? And he's like, oh, I'm sorry. I was just trying to massage you. You look like you're a little tense or whatever. And I was like, no, I'm okay. You don't have to massage me. I don't know you. Please don't put your hands on me. So he's like, it's cool. So the door's open. And I'm just sitting there feeling weird. Like, I'm ready to jump out the chair. So he's pushing me and we're going down this long hallway. And at the end of the hallway, I start to see like a nurse's station off to the side. So I start to kind of feel a little better. And then we go in the room and he calls himself helping me out the chair. I was like, no, I'm cool. I got it. So I was trying to get up on the bed, whatever. And he's like, oh, you kind of nice. He's like, you mind if I come back and talk to you later? And I was like, excuse me? He said, I'm going to come back up here. I want to talk to you later. I said, you come back up here? He said, yeah. I said, what's your name? And he said, let's call him Blase. So Blase gave me his name, his real name. So he's like, I'll probably be back here in a couple of hours when my shift is over because you're kind of cute. I was like, oh, okay. All right. So I played it cool because I was nervous. I'm like, what in the world just happened? So when the nurse came in, um, I was like, she goes, she's like, are you comfortable? Do you need anything? I said, I need you to know that that orderly just invited himself back up to my room. He said he's coming back up here. And I don't know what his intentions are. I already told him I don't want him touching me. He made me very uncomfortable on the way up here from downstairs in the elevator. He was rubbing my back and shoulders and doing a little too much. So I was like, and I'm just I'm not comfortable with him. She's like, oh my God. She's like, are you serious? She's like, what's his name? And I said, Blase. So she's like, wow. She's like, okay. And then she's like, she writing it down. She's like, I will let security know. And then I guess she went and researched where he was, whatever, in the hospital. And I was like, because it was an orderly. So I'm sure she knew to go probably to that department to talk to the supervisor or whatever. So within like 30 minutes, it was two security guards outside my door. And I was just like, it's just by God's grace that I just kind of played along with him because he thought I was drunk or inebriated, he was just going to come in there and take advantage of me. And it just gave me a harsh lesson in trusting people who are, I'm in a place that's supposed to be a safe place, and you have people working in them safe places that don't make it safe anymore. So, I got a police visit, and they made a police report. And it was just that he had touched me at all. They were like, he should have never tried to like massage you and everything. I'm like, I wasn't trying to get him in trouble. I just didn't want him to come back in my room. And I was like, don't touch me. So what are you coming back in my room for? And I feel like he's being a little pushy. So I cleared my detox. I did everything. I left the hospital. I got a couple of calls. Then I got a call, and it had been like over a year. I had kind of forgot about it. I thought it was just going to be a police report, whatever. They got in touch with me saying that he's going on trial. It's me and 3 other women. I was the first one to report anything. And would I show up? And then they're like, because if you don't agree, they're going to mandate you. I was like, wow, if I don't have no choice, I guess I'm showing up. So I had to go to court and all this. And it just, that was kind of traumatizing. Like, because you go to a hospital or any type of medical facility, you're thinking care, you're thinking rest, you're thinking be comfortable. And other people have other agendas. So I guess my story is more so for like just taking care, taking heed. And when we went to court, the woman who was in the room with me, he actually assaulted her. Like he did more than massage. Yeah. And this man had a whole this was the kicker when I found out about him. He had a wife, and he had kids, and he was a pastor, assistant pastor, junior pastor or something at a church, because he really wasn't that old. And I was just like, why in the world would you risk everything to try to sleep with some woman who you think is drunk enough to want to do something with you? I'm like, no. And I'm like, why would you? I was completely baffled. But at first I was like, well, they made the police report, so I didn't know it was going to be that no big deal. But at the same time, I was like, I hope he don't, if he asking me this or if he's thinking like this, he's probably done something more to somebody else. So that's why I was like, I should report it. I'm glad I reported it. But I'm not sure how long he was sentenced, whatever. But yeah, it was crazy. I was like, really? Really? Yeah. So I just it was just a lot. So when you're in a situation, always be mindful, be watchful. Don't be afraid to speak up if people are inappropriate with you. And like I said, I think I dodged a bullet because I really wasn't in the mindset to want to have to deal with anything with him. And that would have been outrageous, just outrageous. So, yeah, when you guys are out and feeling uncomfortable, whatever, just always speak up, always be, um, forthcoming about any information you have, because he did this a lot. This is not the first time, and like I said, it was three other people, and he had an issue at another place, but they didn't like really report it. They just fired him. So all this stuff came out, and I was just like, but I give glory to God for me, like to be able to keep my cool enough to just say make the report, because it was crazy. I was like, I mean, the fact that he had done the massage was already too much, because I'm like, what are you doing? And he was like, massaging. It wasn't like a couple of shoulder pats. It was like he was working his way. I'm like, what are you doing? So, and then when he said he's coming back to my room, I was like, what is your name? And I believe he was coming back up. And guess what? He did come back up. The nursing station noted my file, and the security guard saw him out there. So he did come back up to the room. So yeah, it was kind of a tricky situation, but everybody was like, they were glad I said something, because when you're in that situation, it's like I went there because I'm trying to clear my system. So if you're under the influence, I guess you feel like everybody in there vulnerable. Some people probably are in worse shape than I was when I came in, but I sounded the alarm. And so when he tried it with somebody else, he did a little more to her. I was just like, it was terrible. She was telling me what happened, and I was just like, oh, wow. It was terrible. She's traumatized. So, yeah. Everything, sometimes it's not necessarily what they're doing, it's the hunch you get, it's the discernment that kicks up, and you be like, this ain't cool. What's wrong with this person? So I'm glad the Lord was with me, and he showed me some discernment in that moment, and I made a decision, and it didn't just help me, it helped a few other people. So you can't be afraid to speak up when you see um, stuff unfolding, especially if you get a weird feeling about it. Always, use your words. But I just wanted to share that with you guys, and let God is with us at all times. So that's why I trust him like I do, because there's been so many situations that could go amok, but with your discernment and God having your back, he keeps us from a lot of things that we don't have a clue about sometimes. We could be way worse off than we are, you know. But I give glory to God daily, and just wanted to share that with you so that people can understand that you got to trust God in all things, walk with your angels, and always be looking around and be aware of your environment and have your discernment strong. Don't be afraid to make a police report. If you're uncomfortable, because things can easily progress and it would be a whole nother problem. But God bless. I just wanted to share that with you. And if you have any comments, please feel free to like, share, and subscribe. And have a blessed evening. All right. Bye-bye.